That is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that bit. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So, sticky and horrible. So yes, so yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Good afternoon. What on earth? Good afternoon to all. Hope you're all well. Thank you for coming and joining myself and Nick back on our Sunday lunchtime lives. Obviously, I wasn't here last week. The week before, Nick was busy, so she went here. So we are both back this week. As you can hear, she's so joyful about it. Anyway, thanks for coming over and joining us. Thanks to everybody who came over and joined us on Friday night's battle of the makers. A really good night as always. And congratulations to Joe, Brian and Lewis for winning, the winning team, the Gold Hunters. So as I said on Friday night, if you wasn't in the chat, we will be back for a new series of Battle of the Makers on the 21st of January. Hopefully the same teams, obviously the same team captains, or the same captains, but there may be a little bit of a mix-up. We're not sure yet, but down to the team captains. So today, what I'm doing is, as you guys may or may not know, is I do quite a bit of resin work, and boo. When people saying, yeah, boo resin. But when I do resin work, obviously you get a little bit left over, so I don't like to waste it. So what I do is I pour it. I mix it into pots like this. And then I pour it, whatever's left, into the pot, and over a period of time you get blanks like this. This is purple, white, then there's a blue, a purple and a green in there, and then we've got a bit of copper or whatever in the top there. I've got another one here that I've done. This one's slightly different because what I've done, rather than just making it flat, I've started tipping the pot so you get a bit of an angle on it. So with this one, it's got a bit of a crisscross angle, so hopefully it's going to be a little bit more interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn a bit of a dragon egg or an egg out of it, and then if we get time, I may not finish it because obviously resin takes a little bit longer than wood. If we don't finish it, then what I'll do is I'll carry it on next Sunday, But obviously I don't want to go no longer than about an hour and a half. So once we get to that point, we'll see where we get. We might finish it, we may not. And if we get a chance, we'll make a nice little plaque for it to sit on. So we'll see what happens. So I'll start getting ready and turn this, and Nick will welcome you all in.
2 seconds.
2 seconds now.
Can't multitask. Right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope we are all well. So I got a bit crumpet stuck in my gum. Oh, what's that noise? Oh,
You turn the heater on.
how do I turn it off? Whoops. Sorry, using it to prop my phone up and turned it on. Right, here we go. So, good afternoon to Wood Wizardry by Colin. I think he was on first. And then we've got Mike Yu from Ilminster. We've got Wood Wizardry by... No, I said that one. Peter Cochran, Norman Greenwell, Lawrence. Chris Dodds is on as well. Try to move the mouse slowly. Terry Bartlett from Plymouth Woodturners. Brent Beecroft. And it's done what I didn't want it to do. Barry's Wood Creations, Vince Kerrigan. Welcome to Michael McEwen. Copper Owl Woodturners on. Woodwork Learner. Doug Miller at Wood Spun Around. David J. Heath, Guildford Carpenter. Rex B's on as well. Nick Castle. Also, welcome to Brian at Hardwood Turning. I think that's it. 38 on so far, yep.
Welcome all. Thanks for coming over. So first thing I'm doing is I'm going to turn a tenon on the end here so we can hold it in our chuck. So this will be our bottom then. The green will be our bottom. So I'm just using a parting tool to turn this down. As always, if there's any questions, please put a Q before your question so Nick knows there's a question.
Or if I've missed anyone, just give me a shout out. I see John Scarborough's joined us. Welcome, John.
So as we all know, resin is messy, very messy. So
see old Bartlett's lying, old Terry Bray's lying low.
Is he? He's in trouble. I did tell him if he messed your car up, he'd be in trouble. But he, you know, oh, Nick could be all right with me. You go, old sweet talker. I think he's shopping with Ruth actually. All right, so a bit more of that.
Oh, he's on.
Is
You're
he?
in trouble, Mr. Bray. Got a lot to answer for him. Rex has said, have I designed anything in resin that you've turned? No. You don't turn anything I want. Don't be silly.
Thanks, Rex, for that.
So not only have I been waiting, I don't know how many years for an extension, I've also had some lino that's now part of the furniture, and a toilet seat that I'm waiting to be fitted for the last maybe 2-3 months.
You know why the lino's not been fitted? Because the kids splashing water.
You need to do it because that floor's horrible. It's got to come up. Terry put talk of the devil and he appears.
Uh-huh. All right, so
Vince Kerrigan said, "Is it this week for #fireworks?"
it was, but I haven't had that many in, to be honest. I've only had about 6 in, so I didn't bother doing the video. So if you've got them, send them over to me, and I'll do it for next week. I didn't see the point of doing it for 6. I don't think it was really something that people were really interested in, to be honest. But if you've done one, send the pictures over, and I'll do it. I'll get it done.
Jennifer's Craft Creations is on.
Hi Jennifer, how are you?
Terry's just popped on. Let's see what the resin looks like. He's off shopping.
Yeah.
Doug
Rooftop.
Miller said, #toilet seat for Nikki.
Ruth told Terry got to go shopping.
You men should do as you're told. Pity you don't.
Always. I'm a good boy. Alright, so hopefully we're far enough down for our tenon. So just wind this back. Always get a better grip on a tenon. I'm not too keen on between centres, so as soon as I can get on a tenon, the better. There we go. Back between the centres. Just to give me a bit of security. Alright, so now we can get some shape on there. So as it's epoxy resin, we can use traditional tools on this. It's not as brittle as polyester resin, so we can get it round, and then we should be able to get some nice ribbons from it.
Rex has said, "Is there anything?"
I can't hear you. You need to bring your mic down.
I was eating. Sorry. Rex said, "Is there anything you can do with the shavings or threads?" Not really, is there?
I have actually. I'll show you.
They're quite fine, aren't they? They're quite.
These are what I did is I kept some shavings when I was boring some holes. I don't know if you can see them. I actually cast them in yellow and red, or orange. Sorry. I don't know if you can see those in there. They're all the shavings that came from a piece where I drilled out with a forcing a bit
Off
on
a
a project.
resin.
Yeah.
All right.
But how that'll come out, I'm not sure, because obviously I've never done one before.
You did make me a ring, didn't you?
I did.
That don't fit me anymore. My fingers are too fat. Didn't last long.
That's not my fault. That ain't.
No. But you can't really see them. Well, you can see them, I suppose. Well, no, because then you bought me a nice one, so that sort of went in place of it, really, because that was a bit bulky for me, even for my fat fingers. But yeah, I quite like resin. I like when you do the eggs and when you do little pots and stuff. The best one's got to have been the one with the tinsel in it, as a pot goes. Oh no, was it the wool?
You've got that, yeah.
No, I don't think you. I think you sold it.
The wool one I sold. I didn't sell the tinsel one.
Have I got the tinsel one? Oh, I might have the tinsel one. Might be in the hall round display. But
I like resin because you can put virtually anything in resin.
And I like it because it gets all shiny.
This is what I've done for a couple of Christmas projects with tinsel. So this is tinsel in resin, and there's another one with tinsel in resin. So you can put virtually anything in resin, which is a good thing.
Stuart Farini's on.
Oh, Stuart, how you doing, bud?
And John Scarborough said, #firework week is an interesting one, Steve, but unfortunately I don't have much design creative talent, and that's why I use YouTube to get design ideas. That's fine. If that's not everyone's cup of tea.
No, if that's everybody who's doing, then I will do it. You know what I mean? I'll do one.
Oh yeah, you got to show the ones that have been.
Yeah,
done.
I will. Yeah, I will do. But I just thought that we'd remind people today, and then if people want to send them in, they can. This is going to make a hell of a mess.
Copper output Hi Stuart, just getting started. Steve's turning up the blank. Nick likes resin and Steve has not dropped anything yet.
Yeah. It's always time.
Rex said, Nicky, I let my wife mix the resin, selecting the colours, and I do the turn. And I do help you, don't I? We do mix together and
Yeah.
pick some stuff and that. Which ones were the ones you was going to show me? The lime green, the middle ones.
It's two different lots there.
Yeah, the middle ones are more.
Well, I think they're more
mint.
No, I think they're more lime green. The middle ones. I think the end ones are more mint green. Right.
Let's
So
ask the boss.
Start getting some shape on this. This is going to be our head of our egg. So we'll start bringing this round. Speed is your friend with resin. Fast, gentle passes is the way to go. Don't go too aggressive with it. If you're too aggressive, it's just shatter in your face.
Rex said, I think you should invite Brian to clean up your shop. Mark Stroughton's on.
Hi, Mark. How you doing? I wouldn't put that on anybody, especially
You met
after
Mark,
resin.
didn't you, last weekend?
I did, Mark and Jennifer.
Is that the Jennifer's Craft Creations?
Yes, it is.
Right.
Nice to meet them both.
Woodwork Learner said, have you put carrots in resin yet? Oh, John, don't rub it in.
What?
John Scarborough, Sunday lunch is on the table, so I'll catch up later, by all.
See you later, John. Thanks for coming over.
Wish someone to cook me Sunday lunch. Christine and Michael Hesseltine are on.
Good afternoon. Hope you're both
Hello
well.
all. We love our egg from leftover resin. Didn't you send something like that to Joe?
I did, not a waste one. That was the gold one, the gold, silver, and copper leaf one. I think it was. I sent to Joe.
When you only give old mate your sink.
When he comes and picks it up. I've told him it's ready. This is the trouble with resin. Look at that. Look. Put the extraction on, you reckon? Reckon that'll suck some of it away. Ooh, don't do that, Stephen. Don't do share cuts on it. Push cuts only. Chuck it in the extractor. So the good thing with these waste resin blocks is you don't know what you're going to get. So it's always a nice surprise when you turn them. And I've done quite a few now. I did a Christmas ornament, I think, last year on
Ornament,
ornament, whatever you want to call it.
Ornament.
Yeah, whatever it is. Which turned out quite smart.
Doug, not Doug at all. Rex said, what's your favourite resin turned project?
I'd say my first one. I'd say my I got two. My first project I ever did, which was a pine cone bowl.
I knew you'd say that. Bowl?
Yeah, the first project I ever put
right.
on YouTube. It was a pine cone bowl. And also my pine cone egg. They're my two favourite.
But yeah, and you got one with a horse chestnut in as well, and that's nice. And yeah.
Yeah. But my pine cone's the best one.
I like the ones with something in it. So like the one you've got as well with the not shotgun cartridge. It is a shotgun cartridge, isn't it?
No, it's a bullet.
A bullet in it. That's quite good as well. Woodturning by Barry said, Steve, listen to Nikki. You're having a laugh, ain't you? You don't listen over anything.
I always listen to you. Always.
Brent said, do you turn resin at a higher RPM?
Yes. It's like spindle work speed I turn resin at. So I'm on the middle belt of the machine at the moment, and I'm virtually turning it flat out. Like I said, speed is your friend with resin. Light passes, nothing too heavy. Don't force it, because if you force it, it'll shatter.
Would those thread strings be good for Mark's conks? I think it means gonks.
Oh, shit. Pardon me.
Yeah,
excuse my language. Excuse my language.
Oh, you're going to be in trouble.
No, not really, because they're too brittle, I think. So we're getting a rough shape there now. You can finish it off with a scraper afterwards, but better to get a rough shape with a gouge. So as soon as it starts wrapping around there, it drags it back. If I can get a rough shape with the gouge, then we'll finish it off with a scraper afterwards. Oh. Do. Look at the mess. So what projects has people got going at the moment then? Being Christmas, near Christmas, are you making projects for Christmas or are you not? Craft fairs? What's everybody up to?
Brian Watkins is on. He's in Spain.
Hi, Brian. Welcome.
Terry Bartlett said, Steve, you may listen, but do you hear? He just knows how to say yes and no in the right place.
Years of training that takes. You know that, don't you?
He made me laugh because I was upstairs changing the beds and he came up and he's going, where are you? And I went, here, why? And he said, he came in and he gave me a kiss and a hug and I went, what you done? And he went, nothing. And then I said, right, you've done something. And he's laughing, so I still don't know what he'd done and why he
didn't do anything.
You was laughing. No, don't trust you.
I just wanted to come and tell you that I loved you. That's all it was.
Copper Owl said, pull the tailstock back to clean that out. Woodwork Learner said, looks more and more like Brian's lathe. Woodturning by Barry said, no, Steve, still not turning yet, mate. Is that the Barry that came here? Which is the Barry that lives up the road?
Barry's Wood Creations.
Oh. Oh, Jennifer has said she started making mugs again.
Nice.
Woodwork Learner said making Crimbo stuff for church. I love Brian's advent calendar. I do think you're going to have to make me one.
Thanks, Brian, for that.
The more I think about it, the more I like it. Vince Kerrigan's doing Santa Gonks. I
Yeah,
love gonks. I went to Tesco's to get some double cream and a pair of jammies with gonks on the front jumped in my basket. Had to go for double cream for the eldest daughter, so I told her that the double cream actually cost her like a tenner because I had to buy the pyjamas as well. But they are so cute. I think gonks is definitely the thing of the future. Norman Greenwell, I've cast all my offcuts of pen blanks in resin. It's the best way. At least you don't waste nothing, do you?
exactly. Don't waste it. Use it. That's the way I look at it. I hate waste, I do, especially when that's resin and wood. Sticks to you like yeah.
Glue. Hey, glue. Brian, I'm listening. I'm on it, Nikki. You got to make some more, have you, Brian? They are really awesome. Nick Castle's made a few gnomes. Benjamin's on.
Hi Ben,
How you doing, my man? So gnomes, I suppose they've got faces unlike gonks.
A gonk is a Scandinavian gnome.
I saw a lady made some gonks with wool.
Wool.
Yeah,
Will you believe it?
that ain't funny. Don't give up your day job, love. And she was just going to turn it into a garland or something, which I thought was quite sweet. Woodwork Learner said wood's costing more than resin these days. Steve noticed that, but you did say you think it's gone down a bit, didn't you?
Timber's starting to go down. Well, sheet timber's starting to go down a little bit.
Brent asked, do you use a pressure pot or vacuum chamber?
If I'm the ones I just showed you with the Tinston, I did put those in a pressure pot. But these waste ones, I don't normally put anything. I just sort of pour them in the pots on the bench. All my pen blanks, I don't put in a pressure pot. Because they're only 20 mil deep, and if you warm your resin up first, you don't really need to. If your resin's cold, then you're best warming it first because the bubbles won't rise to the top very well.
Nick Castle said, red-nosed gnomes dressed in fur with grey beards. Oh. Benjamin said, why do sandwiches cut into little triangles taste better? Reminds you of being a child.
Right, let's get a spindle gouge on that, get rid of that bit in there. Just got a little bit of a dip in there, so I'm going to have to narrow that down a little bit.
And a bit like wood, the resin starts off quite dull, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not until you start polishing it, actually.
You can give it plenty of shine and stuff. That's really funny looking at this bit you pull and all. Obviously, this is a bit behind yours. Watching you pull all that off, it looks like it's been speeded up a bit. You've taken all the excess resin off.
Just trying to get rid of all that excess, really.
Right, question. Has anyone got their Christmas tree up yet?
I bet Brian has.
What to do it next weekend? The oldest daughter's away. So I think we might have to do it midweek.
Good luck.
Much to your disgust. I did think, yeah, but I can get the tree and that down myself. Who needs a man? I do everything myself. Apart from I couldn't fix Casey's bed. But yeah, I just thought perhaps we'll do it in midweek. Crystal said, Ben, I cut them into 2 pieces because I can't eat 4. Whatever Copper Owl said, I do not know.
What?
Pythagorean theorem? Okay. Woodridge O'Connor said, no! Nick Castle said, what resin is it?
It's dipoxy.
Dipoxy?
Dipoxy. I will
Oh.
get a tub and show you. I get it off of Amazon. I use 2 different types. I use a crystal clear, that if I'm doing obviously clear work, because it's slightly more expensive. And then this is a one that is slightly off colour. Just take these off and I'll get a tub and show you. I think for 6 kilos of the one I use for the colour works out, delivered to the door. I don't want to lie to you.
Copper Owl, you've got no hope of him saying that.
Oh, look at the mess. Can you just bring me one of those? I ain't coming in there like this. Just bring us one of those little tubs on there. Look.
What tubs? You want me? I'm where? What tub? Where?
That
Who?
one next to the Coke can.
This?
Yeah. Okay. So this is the one I use, the non-clear one, and it's got a slight yellow tinge to it. Now I'm sure this works out about £58 for 6 kilos, and I think they charge £9 delivery. But the crystal clear one, made by the same company, just read what that says on that crystal clear one, Nick, please.
Where is it, darling?
On top of the coffee maker. Yeah.
That's epoxy, though.
No, dipoxy it is. Turn it around.
No, this one's got epoxy.
All right, epoxy plus 3D dual cast. This one is, and this one is actually crystal clear. This one's a bit more expensive. This one's about £10–15 more for 6 kilos. But with 6 kilos, you get 4 kilos of part A, 2 kilos of part B, and it goes to mass, not weight. So I use the proper paint mixing pots to mix mine.
Jennifer said no, she's not got a tree up. Brian said not yet, Steve. Tree will be up this evening. Woodwork Learner said no tree. Copper Owl said try to say it, Steve.
No.
He said A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Benjamin said anyone putting up their Christmas tree before December is wrong.
Wrong one. Right, so we've just got.
We normally do it the first weekend of December, but that's quite a way into December. I don't know. But saying that by the 26th of December, I want it all down anyway.
When's the first? Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's middle of the week, though. A week Wednesday. Not this Wednesday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's only 21st today.
All right. Oh, no. Don't do it. Got a bit hanging off my face and that's itching.
Not as much as my bee sting hurt or wasp sting hurt yesterday. Did you give me any sympathy?
Here
No.
we go. Here we go.
He just went, oh, you'll be all right.
Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? This is the smallest violin in the world.
Just awful. Absolute horrible man.
It's a bee sting. That's all it is, a bee sting.
Disgusting.
Anybody think he was going to die how you was whinging about it?
I thought I was.
What, from a bee sting?
My face was sore and everything. Didn't care at all.
Oh.
Nobody cares.
Oh. I'll tell you what.
No, I don't know. Don't even go. No, don't even go there,
You write the
mister.
letter and I'll give you the stamp for it.
Don't even go there. I'm not interested.
It's a Brumman bee sting.
It's okay. I know you don't care. Nobody cares. Oh.
Jeez. Right. Just need to lose that little bit of bumpiness in the middle there, really. So, just got a little tiny bit. Oh, matron. As you can see with the traditional tools, you get some nice ribbons from this.
Copper I Woodturn said right after Thanksgiving is okay. Brian said I'm a week late this year. Ben must be really bad. Terry said not when you got grandkids, Ben. Copper Owl said it is looking egg-shaped.
It's getting there.
Wood Wizardry by Colin said not putting a tray up, just having lights around the house and up the stairs. Benjamin said, I'll excuse you, Brian, because you're retired and have nothing better to do.
Oh.
Brent said, I put the outside decorations on a warm spell last week, but not turn them on until the beginning of the month. Copper Owl said, he's a horse whisperer. Steve, did you not 3D print a small violin? Said Woodwork Learner. Brian said, you're harsh. He said, I hope I'm feeling better. Thank you, Brian. I'll get sympathy from someone.
It was a bee sting.
It was really itchy and my face was itching. And he didn't, he said, good job you're not allergic. I said, you don't know that. I said, I can't speak, but he didn't care. Right, anyway, back to the chat. That was my sympathy over. Rex B said, what amount of push cutting on average with resin? 1/16? I don't know what that means, do I? 1 in 16? 1/16th? What amount are you push cutting on average with resin?
All of it. I'm pushing cutting all of it, mate. Because if I go that way, it's going to shatter, and I don't want it to shatter. Push cutting, you can ride the bevel, so you can get less pressure on it. You don't need to be putting any pressure on the resin. That's when you're going to end up chipping it, which is what I don't want to do. So just get rid of that shoulder there.
Colin said last time he was stung by by a wasp's arm swelled up like Popeye. That was in my face, like on my side of my cheek. Yeah, I'm feeling better, thank you, Barry. Terry said, Steve, show some compassion.
Terry, you.
It weren't a bee, it was a wasp.
Don't know where it
said
come
the bee sting is poison even if you're not allergic to it. Roger Mills is on. Good time for a bag of wasps down his trousers, Nicky. Yeah, he wouldn't like it if it stung him. He'd have to lay down.
Yeah, right.
Woodwork Learner said, I have had streams like that when using carbide tools on resin.
Yeah, you can use carbides.
Who's on tomorrow night, Steve?
Brian. His chisel's his gouge is getting a bit blunt. Just going to sharpen this gouge up a little bit. It's getting a little bit blunt.
I don't know why it does this sometimes.
That's better. Right, let's try again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a little bit more shape on this, and then we'll.
Spirit Wind stood Stone and Bones on morning.
Hi Heather, how you doing? And then we'll start giving it a bit better shape with the scraper.
Benjamin said his new battery charger has arrived and he can now charge 16, yes, 16 AA, AAA batteries at the same time. He'll be the coolest kid on the block. We don't want to know about Ben's battery operated devices, thank you very much.
No. I thought they took C's, not A's.
Yours take C's, don't they, mate? I've got nothing on here for Brian and nothing on here for Terry. Is Terry not turning tomorrow?
Should be. Brian, have you done your link yet, mate?
I wonder if Terry's not done his. Brian's on, so he can put his own in anyway. Brent said we all think Ben's battery operated. I do woodwork learner. He don't get no sympathy from me if he cut himself. He just said, Nikki, next time Steve cuts himself, just say it's only a little cut, even if his arm is hanging off.
I don't normally. If I cut myself, I don't even normally tell her.
Let's glue it together, don't we? Chris Dodds put Ben with all that power, you'll be able to phone home.
Right, so just got a little bit there, which I think we can get rid of with the scraper. So I just want to shape this back end a little bit. Get in there with a spindle gouge. Just try and get a bit more shape in there.
Don't you hate it when you find things and they've got a number on them and you ain't got a clue what the number even is?
Well, like a registration plate.
I know it's not a phone number. Oh, Rich got £1.20. I ain't going to get you much for your tea, mate.
Alright, so let's just take that in a little bit further. Actually, I'll take that in with a parting tool. Just to give me a bit of clearance in there morning.
Stop spitting. Spitting feathers.
So just clean this up a little bit. Get that curve round a bit more natural. I will part that off so it's flat at the bottom, so it stands. So what we'll do now, take the tailstock away so we can clean the end up.
I thought that's what that one was.
Get rid of that nib on the end there and the dint that I put in there to hold it.
Oh, yeah. Brian's just put his in. That's Brian's link for his
Live tomorrow night.
live tomorrow. Sorry. When he's sorting out one's Paris. Woodwork, there's no problem with the sound, no carrot chopping in the background. No, I couldn't be bothered today.
Just got a little nib on there. That's better. Right, so scraper. Just give this some scrape over, hopefully to give it get the shape a little bit better. Again, no hard pressure.
Heather said she's been up since 4 a.m. Too many ideas turning and running through her head. Now she's too tired to do anything. And she said beautiful sun is coming up, but it's cold outside.
Yeah, it isn't very warm out there today.
No, it's not. I reckon that's just under 22 in here. Where's the bin gone?
I burnt a load of rubbish the other day. It's in the garage.
That's what I put it in this pot. See, paper.
So hopefully when we polish this up, we're going to get some cool colours out of this. Wood dudes on. Good afternoon. So does that look egg shaped?
At the minute on mine, it's obviously still. Barry put Steve has his heater on.
Of course.
Yeah, 22 in here. Still not. It's warm enough, I suppose.
Don't forget you're sitting still.
Yeah, I know. I need to be getting on, really. Can you get me on? No, I'm joking. Woodwork Learner said, Terry, are you making gnomes? Oh, Terry's put his link in. Or, as others call it, making friends. So Terry's put his link and Brian has put his link in there both for tomorrow. I'm not actually sitting because I can't sit on that chair. It's uncomfy.
Yeah, what a new chair in there, really. That's not.
Well, someone broke it, didn't they? Stephen. I'm not mentioning any names. Stephen.
Right, let's have a look at it. See what it looks like.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Gee.
So just got to clean that a little bit up in there. But other than that, does it look egg shaped is the question. It does to me. But what's it look like on camera? So let's just clean that a little bit up in there.
Woodworm Paul's on.
Hi Paul, how you doing?
That's quite a cool colour, actually. Even not shiny.
Shiny?
Even if though it's not shiny. Do you need to get all that resin off the end of that
Off the end of what?
thing? Wood Dude, heating in a workshop, what's that? Woodwork Learner said, nice shape and colour, Steve.
Thank you.
Woodturner by Barry said, that looks fabulous, Steve.
Thank you.
Did Brian get his heating system sorted out?
Yep.
So he's got something similar to yours?
Yep. It's, you can't have a workshop without heat. It's just not right. It's makes the environment more pleasant.
Wood Wizardry by Colin says, hit the thumbs up, guys. Keeps him out of the house longer.
Yeah,
keeps he's not cold.
And also it stops all your tools rusting.
So you see, if you tell your wife that if you had a heated workshop, you wouldn't be in the house as much because you'd be nice and toasty. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I don't normally stand up for you men, but winner chicken dinner. Steve does not come in the house on a weekend until after 5 o'clock.
I'm not allowed, that's why she's locked the door. Right, so sand this, let's sand it, get some Abranet. Get all this muck off me, look at the state of the place.
Heather said I need to make a few friends today. Another sale in 2 weeks coming up. Good on you. We're thinking of doing something in the yard, didn't we?
Yard sale.
In the yard, but we're not sure.
So we want a 120 to start with. Even though it's pretty smooth, but we'll do 120, 120, 240, 240. This is the time of year to obviously sell the Christmas stuffies, bits and bobs. I just need to. We was on about it the other night about doing a yard. We normally do a yard sale, and to be honest, we usually get quite a good turnout, don't we?
Yeah, we try and incorporate everything that's going on in the village, but you haven't heard anything, have you, at the minute?
No. So 240.
We've got a visitor next weekend, didn't we? What day?
Visitor?
Yeah.
Who?
Roy's coming, isn't he, next weekend?
No, he's not coming till December.
I thought he was coming next weekend.
No, December time.
Oh, it's on the calendar for next weekend.
I know, but he had to change because he's going away. So he
Oh, right.
got offered a free holiday or a cheap holiday.
No, that was. Oh, right, okay.
But I'm gonna Barry. I'll message you to let you know what dates it is. I think it's December the 14th or something like that.
Okay.
Right. So sound this up.
Is that Saturday?
It is, yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to sound this from 120 up to 400.
Woodturning by Barry's got to pop off. He said he was catch up later, guys. Bye for now.
See you later, Barry. Thanks for coming over.
Copper Owl said that looks really cool.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand this up to 400 grit, and then we're going to Yorkshire grit it.
Steve Woodworm Paul said he wants to purchase some Chuck Buddies. How does he contact you? Email or?
Yeah, if you email me, mate.
SKkrafts.
Yeah, Nick will stick the email in for you. Anybody who wants, I've now got 4 different sizes for the Chuck Buddies. I've got M33 by 3.5, which is obviously the normal standard UK size. I've also got inch by 8 TPI, 3/4 by 16, and I've just managed, well, today actually, I finished doing the 1¼ by 8, which I know is a lot of American sizes. So I've got 4 different sizes. Anybody's interested, email me.
Steve, is it just, there's no dots in it, is there? It's just
No,
skkrafts.
SK, all lowercase, skkrafts@btinnet.com.
The link's in there now. It hasn't underlined it, which I thought it would do.
That'll highlight it as soon as you put it in.
Right, in.
You spelled it wrong then.
Oh, it's not TW, no. I have an skkrafts@btinternet.com.
Yeah, that's it. Just put it in.
I have.
Right. Yeah, anybody who is interested, message me. UK shipping is £3, whether you do one or whether you do a box full, because it's up to 2 kilos. So obviously, if there's several of you and you're in the same area, then it's beneficial to split the shipping. If you're abroad, then I will be able to get you, if you give me when you email me, if you give me your address and postcode, I will be able to get you an exact cost for shipping. So 120, 240.
Right, once more, see if it does it. No, it's not underlined. I don't know why. That'll come up. They can still just see it.
Yes.
Mark Strawton, Steve, love the Chuck Buddies. Got them all mounted.
Oh, good. Glad you enjoy them. Glad they work well. I mean, I've been using them me and Brian have been using them for a couple of months now, and we've not had no problems. Obviously, they're plastic. As long as you don't cross-thread them, you take your time and put your chuck on properly, you'll be fine. Right, so 240. That's 240. Just check that. Oh, I like that colour. This bit here, and that bit there is pretty cool.
Vince Kerrigan said, "What's a Chuck Buddy?"
Oh, Vince, you don't know what a Chuck Buddy is? I will show you what a Chuck Buddy is, sir. This is what we call a chuck buddy. I 3D print these, and what it's designed to do is, obviously, you wall mount it, and then you can screw your spare chuck straight onto it. I do 4 different sizes: M33, which is the standard UK size, inch by 8 TPI, 3/4 by 16 TPI, and inch and a quarter by 8 TPI as well. $6.99 each plus the postage and packaging. Like I say, me and Brian have been using these for a couple of months now, and they're lasting. They work well. Obviously, they're plastic, so don't abuse it and over tighten your chuck. All you need to do is nip your chuck to it, and they hold perfectly well on the wall. Mine are all mounted on the end of my lathe, and they sit there happy. Brian's mounted his at a slight angle, so he can just screw his chuck straight onto them. I've sold, in the last month or so, I must have sold about 60 of them, and everybody who's had them seems to be happy with them. So hopefully, we've cracked it and we've got it right.
Right, Copper Owl said, what will the bird that hatches from that egg look like? Spirit Wind said it's a unicorn egg. And Brian said, agreed, Steve, great product at a brilliant price.
Thank you, Brian. All right, so this is 320 grit. Just remember when you're doing resin, don't overheat it because it'll start to melt, because obviously it is a plastic. So just gentle. Well, you don't need to put any pressure anyway, obviously, because you want the grit to do or the paper to do the cutting, not the pressure. That's 320. Final grit 400. Now, when you're doing resin, if you haven't got Yorkshire grit, why not? But if you haven't got Yorkshire grit, you can wet sand it. Before I used to use Yorkshire grit, I used to wet sand up to about 4,000 grit with wet and dry, automotive wet and dry. But to be perfectly honest, you're better off buying yourself some Yorkshire grit, and you will see the difference, or you'll see the reason why once I polish this up.
Colin said he's mounted his on his bench.
Oh, I forgot Colin had one. Yeah, Colin had one.
Copper Owl said Brian is either on the payroll or trying to be lol. Great job, Brian. Spirit Wind said that's a great idea, but I only have one chuck.
Well, when you buy more, Heather, you know where to come. Right, so that's 400 grit. So that's took most of the deep scratches out of that. As you see, we've still got a few. But what we're going to do now is we're going to get the Yorkshire grit on it. You don't need to sand and seal it, obviously, because it's resin, so we don't need to seal it. If you got it with wood in, then I would sand and seal it to seal that, to seal the wood that's in it. So let's get some Yorkshire grit on it, and you'll see the difference once we get even the first cut. Yorkshire grit original is going to take us up to about 1,000 grit, and you'll see the difference as soon as we start to. You can see now, even with just putting on how the colours are starting to pop a little bit better. So exactly the same principle as what we always use grit with. What we do bowls, no different. Apply it. Oh, excuse me. Apply it. I did drink my coffee. Apply it standing still or static, and then gradually work in your grit. Obviously, you don't need to apply any major pressure. Let the grit do all the work. And we're going to spend a bit of time doing this and let the abrasive paste do its job. I may put a second coat over it depending on how it comes out, because with this one I really want to get all my scratches, all my deep scratches out for this one. So when we put the microfine over it, we just actually polish them whilst there, not getting rid of scratches.
Vince said thanks for that, Steve.
Not a problem, Vince. So speed up just a little tiny bit. I'm going to send one of these blanks to Brian so he can have. Seems Brian loves turning resin so much, I'm going to send one of these blanks to Brian and let him turn it. Right, let's have a look at that.
It's a shiny.
So there you can see just with the original.
Doug Miller said he's got to go. I'll catch up later. I'll be sending you an order for some Chuck Buddies as well.
Cheers, Doug. Thank you very much. So I'm just gonna give it another coat because I've got a couple of little scratch marks in there I can see with the light. So I'm just gonna give it another coat of original, like I say, because I want the original to get rid of all my deep scratches before we go on to the microfine. So just do it all again. It's all about taking your time. There's no rush, is there? What's the time, Nick, please?
2 o'clock, Dom.
Okay. Keep trying to move your tissue about. If not, you'll get swell. You'll get scratch marks in it. So just keep trying to move your tissue about. So you're moving your paste about. And the one thing I have found with epoxy resin, it's a bit softer than polyester. Polyester resin, you can get a really nice shine on it really easy. With polyester, with epoxy resin, you've really got to work at it to get that deep shine. Right, so just buff that off. So that's the original. As you can see, we've got a shine on there already, but we're going to go even deeper. Right, I've got a mouth of my
Brian
coffee.
said, thanks, Steve. Just what I need along. Woodwork Learner said, could you imagine how long it would take Brian to clean his workshop?
That's the point. I'm going to...
Copper Owl said, just send him an exploding box of shavings with a note that says, open outside. You know Brian will not listen. He'll open it in his shop. Then clean up.
I thought he was going to have a fit on me on Friday night when he opened that package with all them Watsits in it. Right, so microfine, exactly the same as the original. So let's get it buffed up.
Sugar honey diced tea. You know you love me.
Depends how much it's going to cost me.
No.
Ouch!
Speak hate yourself.
Karma, that was.
Yeah, it was. You give me the sympathy, you'll get the sympathy.
All right, speed up a little bit.
Sorry, I should be watching what you're doing, really.
So as you can see now, the shine's coming. You can see the light shining in it.
Colin said that was a lovely thing to do, Steve.
The what?
I think the plaques. I think dipping the cup was a great idea. Thanks, Nikki. I don't know what you mean.
I'm just going to give a little bit more on there. Just got some little tiny swirl marks in the deep colours.
I don't know if I can.
And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to par that off straight at the bottom. I'm not going to worry about actually polishing. Well, I might polish the bottom actually.
Terry said, if you think of sending him a blank, can you put it in the box for Brian's? You get an excuse to go over. I need to go pick a blank up.
So just buff that up.
We'll just give Terry the shavings.
Yeah. So there's with your microfiner.
What you do is you do it so when they open the top of the box, the bottom falls out.
Put a spring under it so as they open it, the whole lot just goes poof.
Especially in the boot of his car.
Oh, Terry, you've really upset Nick with the boot of the car, mate. I did tell you.
Colin said that's stunning.
Right, so now we're going to go even one step further than that because I really want it supersonic shiny.
Right, Woodwork Learner said, you're right, Steve. Yorkshire grit loads easier than wet sand into 12,000.
It is. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be using a cut and compound, a car cut and compound, a bit like T-cut, but it's finer.
Are you going to leave that bit on the bottom so it's got a stand?
No, I'm going to
Why
cut
can't
it
you leave
off
it to stand?
because I'm going to make a little plaque for it to sit on. So this is just a cut and compound. I'm going to go over the top of this. And basically this will just finish that up. This will take it up to like 20,000 grit.
What are you doing with it when you're finished?
Don't know. What, do you want to buy it?
Oh, buying your crap.
I want to buy something decent. So we're just going to buff this in. Like I say, this is like T-cut but finer. So we're just going to buff this in.
Terry said hi to everyone. Can't chat much. Waiting for March and orders any minute now. Jump, Terry!
And this should just make it pop.
Have you not heard of online shopping, Terry? Or do you go somewhere that they don't do it?
Yeah, but Ruth tells him he likes to go.
Brian said plinth
Plinth?
to put it on.
That's the word.
That's what he means. Rex B, beautiful work, Steve and Nikki. Oh, thank you, Rex.
Yeah, you done
I
a
work
good job.
so hard doing all this turn and it gives me a headache. I've got such a headache today.
Right, so what I'm going to finish up, I'm actually going to start...
Stress. Steve stresses me out.
If I can get these open, I'll send a kiddie-proof
See what I
bag.
have to put up with.
Nick, can you get me a pair of scissors and cut that open for me, please?
See, look, fucking Fraser.
Nicola, don't swear.
I didn't. You
Scissors
are
are in that drawer.
a big pussy. You really are.
I don't want the bag ripped.
I'll send it my bag.
Brian made me buy them.
Yeah.
Right at the top, mate.
We can't eat for the next week for all the rubbish you bought.
That's Brian's fault. He told me to buy it all.
Why can't you blame someone who is in this country?
Because it's safer to blame Brian.
If you blame Terry, it's easier.
Thank you. Well, I think Terry's in enough trouble as it is, really. Right, so I'm going to use a Chestnuts Products polishing cloth to polish this up because I think you get a bit better finish with it than tissue.
Have you seen this?
1986? Yeah.
Don't throw that out.
That was Nan's.
She's not AM print.
So there you go. Just makes that pop back a little bit more. Now we're going to go one step further. We're going to use a piece of, or some, shall I say, if I can find it, car polish, wherever I've put it. Oh, I can't reach it. It's right at the back there. Now this will just make it resistant to handprints and everything, and UV protect it. Auto Glim, high resin polish.
Terry said looks great, got to go. Woodworm Paul said, what is it called, Steve, the cut and compound?
It's G10 Microfine. It's an automotive cut and compound that I use.
Christine said, Michael says, how much, please?
How much what?
I think the cut and compound. It's Auto Glim.
No, it weren't Auto Glim. The cut and compounds, the polish is Auto Glim. The cut and compounds made by a company called well, I can't even pronounce that.
Show me.
That one there, G10.
Show me.
Finishing compound. So I'm just going to buff this up with my cloth again. Now, what the polish does,
Yeah, you better just put it on there.
The Auto Glim polish just gives it a that's the cut and compound. Can you see the name on there? camera there. So that's the cutting compound. The auto glim polish just gives it a nice UV protect coat, and also just stops your hands leaving hand marks on it.
Benjamin said, when are you going to have a go at turning Nikki? Never. Which was read by Colin said, Robert's a wooden block for it to sit on. Jennifer said, Steve, what is that compound called, please? That's what you just told us, didn't you?
Yeah.
Brent said, easy wood is US axemen. I think they're talking about
Chuck buddies.
chucks. No, chucks and that.
Right, okay.
Christine said, love, and Michael Hesseltine, love the colours. Woodwork learner, nice shine. Mark Stroughton, Steve, I thought it was Mark. Always Mark's fault. Thanks, Brent. I'll check it right. Oh, how much for the egg?
Ooh. You've put me on the spot now, haven't you? Private message me, and we'll talk about it.
No, how much for the egg? Brent, Heather, you can't go wrong with the one-way. Oh, they're talking about the chucks, yeah.
Right, so obviously lots of layers, original Yorkshire grip, microfine, then the cutting compound. The cutting compound just get rid of those little tiny fine micro scratches and then makes it pop, and obviously then the auto glim car polish. You can use it, you haven't got to use auto glim, there are many different makes of polish on the market, but that just gives you a nice silky smooth finish, and it gets rid of all the static as well, because if not, everything would just stick to it. And obviously UV protects it. So what we're going to do is going to part that off, and hopefully without dropping it. Put my safety glasses back on. Better clean them first because I can't see through them. So we'll get them parted off. Like I say, I will clean the bottom up, but I won't do it now. I'll polish it after the live. So just gently part this off. So there we go. So I've got a little nub on the end there, we'll just take off afterwards. But there is our egg. It's got some cool colours, especially this bit here. That's pretty cool there. This bit here is quite nice and all. Nice, I like it. Right, so we need to make
Christine said to match the other one.
Oh, I see. I forgot you had the other one, Christine. So now we need to make something to put it on. A little bit of burl wood, really. It'd be nice. Let's have a quick. I didn't think I'd get this far, so I didn't dig a bit out. Oops.
Might have to just pop in a minute.
Let's have a look what we've got. Actually, I don't know if I've got a bit of burl. It's big enough. Not big enough. Don't think this is big enough. Oh, might be. So I've got a little bit here, burlwood, or burwood, shall I say? That may, and I can just cut the sides down a little bit. That may be big enough. So we need to get a waste block, so we can stick that to a waste block. You can tell I'm well prepared for this bit.
Oh, I thought you bought me the egg.
Oh, here it is, if you want
it. Woodwork Learner said, wicket keeper gloves needed, Steve.
Yeah. No, I didn't drop it, which is quite impressive.
Woodwork Learner said, looks really good, Steve. Mark said, stun and finish, Steve.
There you go, Nick.
Benjamin, nice egg, Steve. Jesus Christ, that is shiny.
You got.
Give yourself a shine. I do like that.
Right, so
it's got some. It's lovely, nice and warm as well.
Just heat the heat. Got black hot air going. I should have heated up earlier, really.
So Benjamin said, "Nice egg, Steve. I was thinking if you wanted to feel it to feel a bit heavier, what do you think would be good material to have in the centre? Something cheap but heavy."
Well, to be honest,
to add to it when casting, that is quite heavy. That's not light.
Let's weigh it. Bring it here and let's put it on the scales and weigh it. If I find the scales. I need to tie this bench up. The actual finish weight, it's a bit rough.
in places.
Well, the actual finish weight is 400 grams, so it's quite heavy anyway.
But you could put anything in the middle of it.
Yeah, you could do. You could, yeah, anything.
That finish there. Feel that.
Yeah, that's where the transaction of the resins is.
Don't make excuses.
It's different pigments are different density and strength, so some pigments are softer than.
I thought
Yeah,
you were
but
supposed to get rid of the scratchy bits on it.
some pigments are softer than others, so they sand down quicker.
Bad workman always blames his tools. Stuart
Right,
Freeney says gorgeous finish.
thank you, Stuart. Right, so I'm going to stick that to that. If the hot air gun heats, well, the glue gun heats up quick enough, because I don't want to go much more than half past. So we'll see. That should heat up in a couple of minutes. So, but if I can stick that to there, then we'll just hollow a little bit out of there for the egg to sit in, and then I'll trim this down and just clean it up and seal it. But we'll give the hot air gun a couple of minutes, or the hot glue gun a couple of minutes to heat up. So if there's any questions between now and then, I'll just quickly show you the blanks.
Shut up for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Brent said, Ben, you can maybe get Steve to cast your used batteries.
Oh, I wouldn't want to turn them.
Barry's Wood Creation says, great job, Steve, looks amazing. And Chris Dodd said, all those colours together look awesome.
Thank you very much. Like I say, it's all waste resin. It's all waste. There's nothing that actually been.
Really pretty.
It's just been chucked in there as I've finished. And then, like I say, I've got this one here. There's again another waste one. There's this one. Well, I've got a couple in the cupboard as well. But these I've actually done. I'm going to make some Christmas ornaments out of these two and that. I'm going to try and do a Christmas project for every week of December. So this is two. Again, this is just tinsel in resin. That one, the colours come out a little bit in that one. That was obviously clear, but the colours. But we'll see what it comes out like. And again, it's just you can put anything in resin. It's not. I've not had no problems putting any problems putting anything in resin. Obviously, sometimes you get a little bit of air in it, which can cause you a bit of an issue. But
I like the one on the left.
One on the left.
The light one. I like both of them. That other one, the red one, will go with our stuff. What we have. Although I was thinking of changing it this year, but I say that every year. Did I tell you what they said? Yeah, Roger Mills says, is that quality control in action, Nikki? Yeah, too right. Can't send out dodgy stuff. And Roger, he also said superb colours, Steve.
Thank you.
And Lawrence said it's a nice one, Steve.
They do. The thing is with the waste, like I say, you're gonna throw it out anyway. If I turned it and it looked rubbish, you're gonna throw it away anyway. So it's not a problem, and it gives you a bit of tool control practice. So
they are. I mean, you look into the red, and it looks just like it's moving. If you know what I mean, it's really bizarre.
Shimmering is the word you're looking for.
Shut up. And you look into the yellow bit, and it looks like you can almost see inside the egg.
I think this is going to take a little bit longer than expected.
I do like that.
Oh, actually, done something you like.
Oh, shut up! I like a lot of the stuff you do. So I got it on show in the house.
So the only trouble with resin is the mess. Look at the mess, just horrendous.
That's right. That keep your hairs for a bit longer.
It's just a messy. Right, I'm just gonna get my drink because it's.
Done it.
Yeah. So I've got a question for guys while we're on live, while we're waiting. I've got someone who wants me to make them a mint green pen for their niece for Christmas. I've done two different greens. So I'll put it on a camera over here. I've done two different greens, and I am not sure. I've looked online, and mint green can be several different colours. So, do you think this one is mint green, or do you think this one is mint green? So my left is this one, my right is that one. I personally think this one looks more like mint green because it's slightly darker. This to me looks like lime green. But I'm going to ask your guys, see what you think. It's hot in here, Nick.
It's not. It's just right.
I'm sweating.
Take coat off him.
Thanks. Hope everybody see the Crafty Festival yesterday, as it was a bit of a charity thing for the guy's family who passed away, unfortunately. Right, yeah, I think right. Yeah, everybody's saying right, which is the one
Yeah.
I thought, the darker one. Yeah, that's more mint green to me. That looked more like lime green.
It's a pity Jim's not on.
I will take a
Could have
picture.
shown Kirst.
Yeah, I will message her and send them and show her. Everybody's saying right, so I was right.
It's fine. It's fine.
This, I think it's about ready. So let's get the tail stock up ready. Move that. What's the time, Nick?
20 past.
Oh,
What have we just got an Xbox? Xbox One, in it?
I ain't got an Xbox One.
It's not a PlayStation.
We have.
It is an Xbox.
Oh, it is an Xbox. Yeah, you're right. It is an Xbox.
Casey's got a PlayStation, isn't she?
Oh no, it's still a bit cold. Just push that up, let that dry off a little bit. Don't know how well that'll hold on, but we will see. But we don't need no major pressure on it. We're only going to gently just turn that, let that cool off a little bit. So everybody's saying right. Perfect. Right. So let's move that back out. Can I have that egg back, Nick?
No.
Please.
It's in my pocket.
So we need to go on an end tail stock camera.
Catch.
Oh, don't do that and nearly poop my pants. I want that vernier off that bench as well, please.
What?
Vernier. That metal thing at the back there. That's it. Well done.
Why is it in my workspace?
Right, so
Is your hot glue black?
Yeah, it is. 36 mil. 6 mil. Right, so gently take that out of there. Hopefully that'll glue a hold.
Oh, I've frozen. Why have I frozen? Oh, I've lost you completely now. No, it's fine. Don't worry. You're back.
Do you know what?
Just can't get the stairs, can you? Just can't get the stairs.
I don't want that too deep. I just want that to sit in there gently. Actually, that's pretty good. When we get that, I'll just turn a little bit deeper in the middle. Use the spindle gouge.
Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh, Steve.
Mind in your hands.
Oh, now I've lost you. No, you're back.
Do you know what it's like being in a
Copper
live
Owl
reply?
said he's never seen coloured hot glue sticks before.
Have you not? Well, you have now. Right, so I'm just going to share cut this just to smooth that out a little bit. But obviously being careful because obviously I'm going to trim it down anyway, so it's not a problem.
Brian, do you want to put your link in again for your live tomorrow? And I'll just see if I can find Terry as well, seeing as he's not.
Alright, so just sand that up.
No, I can't find. I don't know why. I don't understand why it's not come up. But anyway, Terry's is on there as well. It's further up the chat, and I can't get to it because I came out and went back in again.
So I'll just trim them off.
Woodwork Learner said glue sticks come in all sorts of colours, even sparkling.
Oh, do they? Didn't know that.
Copperhouse said he'll be having a look.
So I will cut this down so it won't be as big and chunky as this. Actually, I've got a better idea. I'm going to feather that out a little bit so that's not so big and chunky like that. I don't like that. So take, oops. So the egg should now set up a little bit high, and then the plim fold away. That's better. I like that better. So let's give us a bit of a clean up. So I'll cut this back a little bit. Nice little bit of burl wood.
Thank you, Brian. He's put his in.
So I don't know if you guys have seen on Facebook Brian's snow families he's doing. Brian's making some snow families with snowman, snow lady, and 2 children. He is selling them if you would like them. So if you're interested in one, message Brian. I'm sure he will oblige.
Okay.
What?
He said message Brian.
All right, so a piece of 240 really. I'll use a bit of 240 sanding pad.
Why can't I comment on that?
So I'm not going to Yorkshire grit this because I like my fingers where they are. So 240, 320. And all this is just a little plaque or a little plinth, as Brian said, just to stand the egg on, stop it rolling around. So 320, 400, finish it off, then we'll get some sand and sealer on it. Just blow out the dust out of the joint, out of the holes.
It's 28 minutes past, mate.
All right, no pressure.
Well, you asked me keeping on time.
Dun, 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 dun. Right, so a little bit of sand and sealer. Look at that baby pop.
My feet are freezing.
Oh, you should put them up on the bench. Hot air blowing up there. Now, I'm not actually going to wax that. I'm just going to leave that with sand and sealer on it.
You're not going to wax on, wax off?
No, I'm not going to wax on, wax off. So I'm just going to clean that nib out of there on the linisher.
That beat a bit noisy.
And I'll finish up after the live. So now what we need to do is get that off the block. Just drag loads of resin in there. So
You'd
get
have
that off.
asked.
See, oh my god, that held well. Just get a mallet and
Freezing again.
operator. So there we go, just clean it up.
Colin said I do love that burr.
Burr. So let's get our platform. Obviously, this bit of burwood's not going to be as big as, so we'll knock this down a little bit. So obviously the plinth, and then our egg, depending on where you want it, to go on
I
afterwards.
thought my screen had frozen because you ain't doing nothing with it. Numpty.
Oh, so operator error then. That's what you're saying?
Numpty.
See if I can focus that in a bit better. It's not quite focused. So that's better. There you go. So I'll cut this down a little bit, perhaps equal that, so that's equal both sides. Clean it up, sand and seal it so it's got a bit more depth and colour to it. I won't wax it. I may engrave my logo in the bottom actually.
Oh, you little devil.
So there you go. One waste resin egg.
It's beautiful. You're beautiful. Woodward's the Quillen said awesome. Nick Castle said bravo, great job. Woodwork Learner said sets off a treat. Must be still not going. Go away. Woodturning Barry said fabulous, Steve.
Thanks guys.
Norman Greenwell said brilliant. Does look pretty good actually.
Did you hear that, folks?
You ain't done a bad job, mate.
I've actually done something that she likes. Ooh.
Don't get too excited.
Ooh. So, go over and get yourself a t-shirt. Supports the family. No, so like I say, to get the nice shine we had on it, several different stages, but well worth the stages, as you can see. I will clean up after all the live, because you do get a nice shine to it. And the good thing is with the car polish, it should be a lasting shine as long as you don't, as long as it's not cleaned with like furniture polish and things like that. The polish should last quite a while on there.
Was that aimed at me?
No, not at all. And the good thing is, with all the different sections, you just keep turning it around to get a different egg every day. Look at that. And I do like the idea that tipping the cup is giving me different angles rather than just straight bands, which is nice. Something different. So yeah, I like it. I do like that. Very much so. Right, so then. I think we're there. Good job. I enjoyed that. It's been very enjoyable. Something different other than a burl. It's going to take me 3 weeks to clear the mess up, but other than that, it's fine. So hope you've enjoyed it. Yeah, I can't see why not. Colin, same sort of thing. Still a polish.
Have you read the chat? So I ain't got to read it out yet.
That's a metal polish. I'm not sure how that'd work on resin though, mate. That's obviously a metal polish, not a wrong camera, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, they don't want to see you.
Don't you? All right, okay.
What's your t-shirt saying? Oh, the Crafty Festival.
The virtual Crafty Festival. Oops, wrong button. There you go. There's the resin egg. There you go. Right, let's go then. Roughly an hour and a half as we're going over time now. Right, and folks, thank you very much for coming over and joining myself and Nick. As you don't want to see me, you can look at the egg. So I really appreciate your time coming over. Friday night, we have Jake Thompson on, who's a bit of a resin king. Hopefully be getting some tips and tricks from Jake. Not sure what I'm doing yet. I'd like to think that I could do a resin project, but I don't know what I've got. I've got a couple of things that I could do. But I don't know if I want to do them for a live or what I'm doing for a video. I'll have a think about it over the week. And maybe we'll do something resin, maybe not. So anyway, hope you're going to join us. Tomorrow we have Terry from TJ Turning on. Lunchtime, 1 o'clock. Then we'll have Brian from Woodturning at 8 p.m. Tuesday, I'm not sure to be honest. I think Keith's on at lunchtime, isn't he, on Tuesday? Anyway, be the same people who's on every single week. So if you're subscribed to their channels, then you will get a notification when they're on. If you're not subscribed to the channels, then you should be ashamed of yourself. So anyway, guys, thanks for coming over and joining myself and Nick. I think we're going to go. You know what? Say anything, Nick? No. Okay,
No.
right. So we'll see. We'll see you next Sunday. Have a great weekend and a great week. Speak to you soon. Take care and bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
That's all, folks.